MS team. We do have one agenda for the open session, and that particular agenda relates to our regulation of the pipelines industry. On that note, let me hand over to you, Ms. Mtwa, to introduce the item and also guide us. But before we do that, let me just get an indication from members if they do adopt the agenda as presented. Members, any? By show of hand. Thank you, Mr. Mkize. Thank you, Ms. Msiti. Thank you, Mr. Kumete. I also adopt it as presented. As I said earlier on, we've got one item which is under the regulation of the petroleum pipelines industry for the open session. Ms. Mtwa, you may proceed to introduce the submission. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning again. The application before us is Mixture Petroleum for its first amendment of the condition of the license issued to it. I will allow Mr. Mapodi to quickly introduce the submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members and colleagues. The purpose of the submission is to request the REC to consider and approve the application by Nixture General Trading, Pty Ltd, trading as Nixture Petroleum, for the first amendment of the condition of the license issued to it for the operation of its petroleum storage facility in Bloemfontein, Free State Province. Nixture Petroleum is seeking to amend its current license storage capacity by adding 2 storage tanks with a combined design capacity of 166 cubic meters. Mixture Petroleum storage facility consists of 11 horizontal tanks with a combined capacity of 253 cubic meters. The applicant seeks to amend its operating license condition to include 2 83 cubic meters horizontal above ground petroleum storage tanks. The combined design capacity of the storage tanks sought to be included is 166. Nixture Petroleum installed these storage tanks in its petroleum storage facility during 2020. The application was advertised for public comment and no objections was received during the publication period. In terms of market analysis for Free State Province storage and utilization, the storage capacity added will increase the license capacity for the province by 166 cubic meters, which will result in a total license capacity of 81,089 cubic meters in the Free State Province, which will represent 0.32% increase. Given that the facility was operational and no material impact is foreseen to the storage market in the Bloemfontein and surrounding areas in the Free State Province. So it is recommended that the REC consider and approve the application by Nixture for the amendment of the condition of the license issued to it for the operation of petroleum storage facility in Bloemfontein, and also approve the decision and reasons for decision document attached as Annexure 1 and associated first amendment addendum to the condition of the license as attached as Annexure 2. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mapodi. Members, the submission is before you, and as we have heard from the presentation, if you do have any questions or issues of clarity or points of enhancements, please do feel free to raise your hand and make your contribution. I do not see any hand from the members PPR team, but I think from my side, I just wanted to just check what was the cause of the delay, because we got the application in January last year and the completed information was submitted in December. However, the team from the PPT side was able to communicate with the applicant in relation to tariff matters, but it seems the licensing team could not, hence the length of time that it has taken to have this matter serving at the committee. I see Mr. Untid's hand is up. You may come in, sir.
Morning, Chair and members and colleagues. Yeah, I think, CEO, your question is a valid one. Up front, I think I can take responsibility in terms of the licensing side and the challenges surrounding this application. The rules require that the amendment be accompanied by a license, by a tariff application if the asset base change. So if Ms. Boko is or somebody from PPT after me want to comment on that part, then they may. What happened is they stopped being responsive, or firstly, they were very quick to apply after we directed them after the site visit, and they did it within less than 3 months, which is typically what happens to compile the application. However, then they became non-responsive. It was incomplete, and they resubmitted, still incomplete. And then during that process, they were also informed about the tariff application. And then they continued with that. So maybe if Ms. Boko or somebody can comment that. Then after that, we could not wait longer after we received the final information, and we proceeded. And I believe the tariff application is still not complete, but maybe they can give an update. But yeah, in conclusion, I think it's not acceptable. And in hindsight, we were trying to get this below bulk licensee to comply, but as indicated in the cover submission, we will strictly be enforcing if somebody doesn't submit it. We will just issue Form Cs declaring it incomplete and remove it from the system. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Untit. I don't know if Ms. Boko, but I think the reasons for the delay are understandable then. Maybe we should just proceed to go to the recommendations, which are on page 6, paragraph 14. And the recommendation are that the REC should consider and approve the application by Niksha Petroleum for the first amendment of the condition of the license issued to it for the operation of its petroleum storage facility in Bloemfontein, Free State Province, seeking to amend its currently licensed storage capacity by adding 2 storage tanks with a combined design capacity of 166 cubic meters. And the REC is also requested to consider and approve the decision and reasons for decision that are attached as Annexure 1, and as well as to consider and approve the associated First Amendment addendum to the conditions of a license, which is attached as Annexure 2. Members, by show of hand, can I get an indication that you do support the recommendation as presented in paragraph 14 of page 6? Thank you, Mr. Gumete. Thank you, Ms. Maseti. Thank you, Mr. Mkize. I also do support. Members and stakeholders who have joined us for this particular open session of our meeting, we have come to the end of the open session. As indicated, we only had that one item for consideration. We will then close our meeting and proceed with the other items under the closed session. Let me thank the members of management and